Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, and welcome to Agents of Change. Today we're going to be talking about the second of the three things that basically block your success in various areas of your life. Last time in part one, we talked about confidence and how that affects you and how you can basically get more of it. And today we're going to be talking about number two, responsibility. Now, responsibility doesn't mean that you are actually cleaning your room or your house every day and making sure that it's like nice and tidy. What it means is, are you taking responsibility for your inaction? Are you taking responsibility for all of the things that need to happen in order for you to achieve what you need to achieve? See, a lot of times we kind of get into this whole kind of thing where we're expecting, if I just had more money, then I'd be able to go ahead and do what I needed to do. If I just had the right people supporting me, or, if my boss would only understand me in the right way. And we've got all of these excuses on why we're not moving, why we're not taking action, and really what we're basically doing is we're saying, hey, I am powerless. Okay? Now, of course, if you have more confidence, it's a lot easier to kind of get moving and take responsibility. This is why number one was confidence. Okay? So, here's the thing. Okay? Unless you are prepared to take responsibility for the things that need to happen, nothing will change. So, that means even if you do not have enough money, even if your boss or superiors or whatever do not support you, even if your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever do not support the ideas or whatever it is that you want to do, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if anything is to be achieved, it's got to be you. You've got to look at all of these situations and you've got to say, okay, these are things that I have to overcome. First of all, number one, if it's a money problem, it's not a problem. It's an expense. If somebody says, I don't have enough money to do what I think I need to do, and that's my problem, they are looking at it from a totally different perspective. If your problem is money, that's probably one of the easiest things to solve because it's not a problem. It's an expense. All you need to do is how to pay for your expense. And there are various ways where you can literally start to create a process where your expenses will be paid through your actions. But it's not going to come down from the heavens and just kind of be put in your lap. You actually have to go out and figure stuff out. I mean, just use your brain, be creative. There are so many different people who have literally less potential, less intelligence than you do that have achieved amazing things. But they had one thing. They took responsibility. They developed their confidence. And when you take that responsibility, when you own it, that's when things start to happen. See, the moment that you blame this, blame that, say, I can't do it because of this, your brain is basically closed. It's like, I can't do it, so why should I be innovative? Why should I be creative? Why should I come up with all these things? But the moment that you take that responsibility, the moment you say, yes, it's me, I gotta figure it out. It doesn't matter about this, about that, about this. I need to figure it. The moment you do that, your brain starts to notice all of these different things that you never thought of before, and you end up solving a lot of problems. Let me tell you a story. Okay? When I first started this business, which is now a multi-million-dollar endeavor, okay, I was about $500,000 in debt, and I was kind of messed up. And I knew that if I was going to go into the training industry, I needed to do something different. I needed to really kind of go out there and really do something that was out of the ordinary and not just be another trainer or another training company. So I came up with this idea that other people weren't using. Nobody had these like special tools to do training with. So I came up with all of these tools. And then I went to a printer and I said, okay, how much would it cost to basically print this? And they said, it's about $42,000. I'm like, $42,000? I mean, I was barely surviving. I had no money. Okay, so I thought, okay, I gotta make this happen. Because I was at the end. I mean, I needed to make this happen. And so what ended up happening is I went to a printer and I kind of looked at, I asked a lot of questions about, what needs to happen with printers for them to make money. And I found out that most of them, even the best ones, okay, are running usually maximum at 80% capacity. That means that 20% of their time is downtime, but they're still paying for their employees and all of this stuff. So I basically sat down and I did some numbers and I showed it to the printer and I said, hey, you can use this for your 20% downtime. And they laughed at me. No. Okay, $42,000, that's it. Okay? Okay, so that kind of sucked. So I looked at it again and I thought, all right, well, there's got to be a different way to do this. And so I looked at the way that that these things were being done. I said, hey, here's what we can do. You can hold all of this stuff, and I will give you, instead of $42,000, I will give you $48,000, and you hold all the stuff, and I buy it from you at a little bit at a time. And they said, go, it's $42,000. That's the way. Okay. So I thought, all right, okay, no problem. And so I come up with this other idea, and I thought, okay, so I'm willing to pay more if it's on piecemeal, okay? So I said, all right. And then I thought, okay, so they've already got the downtime. They already know about the downtime. Already know about, here's more money. So then I thought, all right, well, where would this money go? I mean, if they had the actual cash, they'd probably put it in the bank. So I looked at the bank, and at best, okay, the total amount of money that they would make with that over a 1 year period was maybe about $4,000 maximum in interest. And that if it was in some mutual funds and everything else, mostly they would make about $2,000. So I went and I showed them the numbers and I said, look, if you take this money, you put it in the bank, this is how much interest you make. I'm willing to pay you much more interest. You just have to do this. I'm willing to give you a little bit of money up front so that, of course, you at least pay for some of your stuff. And I detailed it out. And finally, one printer said yes. And that's what started the whole thing. Because I was able to be unique, I was able to stand out, I was able to show people wow, something that they'd never seen before. And see, that's what happens when you take responsibility. You come up with innovative ideas because nobody's going to do it for you. I couldn't expect the printers to just, because I'm a nice guy, come on guys! I had to come up with something that worked for them. And I wouldn't have been able to think of it if it wasn't for me taking the responsibility. So now it's your turn. Are you ready to take the responsibility to make things happen in your life? This is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.